They told you it was something to avoid, something to fear, a black mark on your record, a scarlet letter burned into your pride, but that was a lie. Failure is not your enemy, it is your maker, the man you are becoming. The woman you are destined to be. They are not born in victory, they are born in the dark furnace of defeat. They are shaped not by ease, but by the crushing weight of setbacks, by nights when you scream at the sky and mornings when you drag your tired soul back into the fire. Do you want to know what separates the few who rise from the many who quit? They failed first, hard, publicly, shamefully, and they came back anyway. They didn't run from the pain, they studied it. They didn't hide the scars, they sharpened themselves against them. That's the difference. That's why you must fail first. Because success, real, lasting, unshakable success, is never given to the man who fears falling. It is only claimed by the one who learns how to fall forward, with fists still clenched, with eyes still burning, with spirit still intact. Look at every giant history has ever known. Look into the soul of greatness, and you will find a cemetery of broken attempts. Thomas Edison didn't discover the light bulb. He built it from failure 10,000 times. Each experiment wasn't a waste, it was a step. A torch lit in the cave of human ignorance. When the world saw failure, he saw refinement. When a reporter asked him how it felt to fail so many times, he didn't flinch. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the mindset, that's the fire, so tell me what's your 10,000. What is the thing you say you want, but keep walking away from the moment life dares you to stumble for it? You say you want greatness, but are you willing to bleed for it? Not once, but repeatedly while no one's watching, while everyone doubts you, while even you doubt yourself. Because that's the price, that's the toll gate every dream must pass through. You will be tested not once, not lightly, but relentlessly until the world sees what you're made of. And it's in that crucible, that chamber of humiliation and hardship, that your character is forged. You must fail first, not because you're not worthy, but because that's how you become worthy. Steel is not born strong. It is tempered, heated, hammered, cooled, then hammered again. So is your spirit. Failure is not a sign you're weak. It's a signal that strength is being summoned. It's the voice of destiny whispering, "Now, show me who you are." Carnegie knew it. When he built an empire of steel, he did not walk a golden path. He fought through betrayals, crashes, debt, uncertainty. And each time he was knocked down, he rose with a sharper vision, not because he was lucky, but because he refused to see failure as final. And that's the point. Failure is only permanent to those who sit in it. The rest, they rise. You must start rewiring how you see failure. Stop worshiping perfection. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start taking the swing and expecting to miss, not because you're incompetent, but because the miss is the muscle. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. The GOAT, the legend. He went home and cried in his room. And then he got back in the gym, harder, louder, deeper. That pain didn't break him, it woke him. There is a kind of sacred desperation in failure, a moment when the world says no, and you have to answer back with "I will not be denied." A moment when your dreams demand proof, and the proof is not in how cleanly you succeed, but in how powerfully you get back up. You want belief. Earn it in the trenches. You want clarity. Find it in the fog. You want discipline. Build it in the chaos, because the ones who build empires do not skip failure. They eat it. They breathe it. They learn to love it, because they know something you don't yet fully believe. Failure is the signal that the treasure is near. Nobody digs for gold in the grass. They go to the harshest, rockiest ground. Why? Because gold lives under pressure. So do you. The future you want, it's buried underneath 1,000 failed attempts. And each time you swing the pickaxe and come up empty, you're not failing. You're getting closer. You're eliminating what won't work. You're digging your way through weakness, hesitation, and excuses. You're earning the strength to handle what's coming. Because understand this, life won't hand you success until you can handle it. Success is heavy. It demands shoulders wide enough to carry responsibility, criticism, visibility, leadership. And if those shoulders haven't been built in failure, they'll collapse the moment pressure hits. You must fail first, so you can grow into the person who doesn't break. Look at Walt Disney. Before he became a household name, he was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. He started businesses that went bankrupt. People laughed, investors pulled out, and yet he kept drawing, he kept imagining, he kept building, and when Disney and finally opened, the world gasped. But they hadn't seen the years of invisible failure. They hadn't seen the nights of doubt. They only saw the result. You see, people will only notice your success, but you will remember your failures not as regret, but as sacred ground, as the proving fields where you decided to become unbreakable. And that decision, that choice to keep going when it would be easier to quit, that is the real beginning of your rise. Let the world call you foolish for believing in your vision. Let them point at your losses and laugh. Let them misunderstand your hunger. It means you're on the right path, because the right path always begins with failure. The wrong ones feel easy, comfortable, smooth, no resistance, but no greatness ever came from comfort. The moment you feel resistance, real resistance, that's your compass pointing true north. That's your life saying, there's power here, if you'll fight for it. So what will you do? Will you shrink from the fire? Or will you step into it, like every warrior of history had to? Abraham Lincoln lost more elections than he won before he became president, but he kept showing up. He kept fighting for the idea that something bigger than himself was worth the pain. And when the time came, he was ready not because he was always victorious, but because he had been forged in loss. That's the pattern, that's the secret. The men and women who become legends, they lose. Repeatedly, spectacularly, but they refuse to stay lost. They refuse to bow to failure. Instead, they rise, taller and more relentless than before. You are no different. But you must decide right now to change your relationship with failure. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more confident. Now, because the clock is ticking, your dream is waiting, and the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your fear of falling. So fall hard, and then rise again and again, until the world no longer remembers your failures, only your fire,